I'm dizzy. You can't do this when you're older to spin around. I'm still spinning. Hey guys, welcome back. We're back at the sauna. That's exciting, right? It's exciting. We're working on our sauna because we like a nice place to, you know, relax. You can relax in the sauna after you play some hockey. That's right. We're building a village. We got a cabin. We got the off-grid cabin up there. We've got our root cellar over there. We've got our outhouse in case, well, nature calls. We've got the cube. Now we've got the sauna. We're down by the pond. You can see the pond has frozen over. We've shoveled it off. We're just waiting for some really cold weather because we're gonna end up flooding it. We're gonna build maybe a Zamboni. We got to make sure that snow stays off of it in order to make sure it freezes properly. So while we're watching ice freeze, we've got our back wall. We've got to do. We've got our material. We've got it all milled up, which is great news because that's half the battle. Don's milling about. See, there's Don. Hey, Don.
Nature's calling.
Nature's calling. Yeah, it's kind of easier to go into the bush than into the outhouse. We got our front on. We don't got a doorknob yet. We got our windows in. So this is what we're working with on the inside. So we've got basically a culvert, but it's a nice culvert. We got to put a floor in here. We're gonna get a heat source. We've got to put our cladding on in the inside. Some lighting, some decorative stuff, some benches, some insulation. We got our work cut out for us. We're just we're gonna get started. We're gonna start on the back wall. So we're doing this siding, and it's kind of a pickle because there's no real easy way to get a formula for what angle it is. So what we end up doing is actually taking our board, cutting it roughly to length from side to side, and then kind of, if you put it in place and then actually draw what you think is the circumference of the circle, and then we cut it out from there. That seems to work the best, and actually it'll be a little easier on the back side because we don't got a rock on a rock. It's a hard place and a hard place. We can actually sit it out front of the logs themselves and then trying to draw a line and then tack it in that way. That seems to be the easiest way. Maybe there's a better way. There's no formula. Well, there's probably a formula, but that's too much math. You guys know how much I like math. Now that we have the outside all finished, does it look like a little bit like Jupiter? I think it looks like Jupiter. Don doesn't agree. He doesn't agree with me. He doesn't think it looks like Jupiter, but I think it looks like Jupiter. My big, it's my planet. Got my very own planet. There's where our stovepipe's gonna come out. It's gonna go up there, so that should work out pretty good. We've got to put our floor in, but we also have to put insulation in our floor to keep our feet warm. So I'm going to use some garage door panels. I got some of those left over from the other build. The idea is not to have any wood touch near the bottom of the culvert, because I have a thought that there's going to be some kind of condensation forming on the walls, and we want to be able to have the condensation drip down to the bottom and then out both sides if it needs to, if it wants to, if it does. It's hard to stare at the pond all day and not want to go skating.
At some point.
Maybe bring your skates tomorrow. We'll go for a rip. Play a little afternoon shinny. Although that is pretty comfortable. Maybe I'll just have a nap. This doesn't work. We need a flat floor. As you can see, we're trying to figure out our dimensions. So we have our garage door panels, which are 2 1/8, or actually they're about 1 7/8 thick. We've got our OSB, which is about 5/8 of an inch thick. Okay, so this is a chunk of our floor. As you can see, it's about 2 inches of thick styrofoam, and it's got the metal on both sides, so that's going to give us a well-insulated floor. That's not going to be the structure. The structure is actually going to be 2x6. So when I didn't have any walls up, I actually, when I did the first front wall to make the door entrance level, I shot a laser over the edge and I actually marked it on the studs because I'm looking past my nose when I build. So this one here, we just go down 2 5/8 from our original line, and that should give us our floor, our level floor. It went actually in surprisingly well. I did not anticipate it being that easy. We ended up using 2x8 down the middle and then 2x6 on each side, and then to fill in the gap next to where the round part of the culvert is we put a 2x4 flat on end, and that allows us to get our exactly 6 feet across from one side to the other. And now we can put our insulated garage door panels on top, and that'll give us a nice thermal break from the bottom, and it'll allow us to continue our thermal break all the way up around inside the sauna in order to keep it toasty. Although I don't think I'm gonna have a problem keeping it warm. I think the stove is rated for 100,000 BTU. Maybe I'll make it an oven. Maybe it's not a sauna. Maybe I'll just be able to cook It'll be like it'll be an oven instead of a sauna. You can take your roast, light the fire, bring it up to like 375 for a couple of hours. Turkey's done. Blow the windows out. Does it feel like a sauna in here yet? Look at that. Perfect. Right underneath the jam and everything. So what we got left from the workshop build is a couple of pieces about this wide, and as you can see, it's not quite wide enough. We're a little short. Why are we trying to fight this thing? Let's just go play some hockey and pick up some OSB tomorrow. That's why are we screwing around? It's literally one more sheet of OSB, and we've got the floor pretty much nipped. We got a little chunk over there, no big deal. Let's play some hockey. I got the wrong skates on. Hey, figure skates. Oh man, I'm dizzy. You can't do this when you're older to spin around. I'm still spinning. Oh no. Oh, missing that. I got the goalie stick. Hook check. As you can see, the ice rink is working out really well. Could be a little bigger. It could always be a little bigger. Lena seems to be enjoying it. So does Don, even though he took a tumble there. He'll feel that tomorrow. Upcoming plans is to actually build a Zamboni for this guy. Or a rudimentary Zamboni in order to flood it, maybe make it a little bit more smooth. As the days progress, it seems to be getting a little, it's not even rough. It's actually getting humpy. So I'm not sure if that's just the groundwater pushing up and then the whole thing kind of going wonky. We'll revisit that in a later episode maybe. Zamboni. What do you think?
Hello.
All right, that was too much fun. We got let's do that. I'm going to do that again. Here, let's. I'm going for the new cabin record. Sliding was easier when I was a kid. I don't know if you guys are like me and you guys keep track of the price of things, and as they go up in price, maybe it's the older I get. 5/8 of an inch OSB, and it used to be about $12. I bought a piece today, it was $42. That's crazy talk. I can't even imagine what plywood. Plywood's probably like double that, like 80 bucks a sheet. I don't see a shortage of wood anywhere. Commodities, I guess. There's gotta be I wonder if there's a breaking point. The prices of stuff just keeps going up. It all makes more sense to just use what you have, figure out a different way to do it, as opposed to going out and spending $42. Imagine you have to build a house. I don't know what the cost of it to do a house would be. I got my sheet. I got my one sheet of OSB that I needed to finish. Par for the course, right? The panel installation that we have down below, which is the garage door panels, is just basically free floating down there. It is lapped and joined together, but it's got a little rubber gasket down there, so that's providing some sort of sealing. And then we're going to use these guys, a 4-inch screw. We're going to go right down through the OSB, through the panel, into the studs below, and that should give us a nice solid floor for our tile. Because we're tiling this bad boy. As much as I like doing tile, gotta have some style, some tile style. Now that we've got our floor in, we're basically closing in the envelope. And what I mean by envelope is I want a heated space. So any of the below the floor is out of my heated space area, so I'm not going to worry about it. But the thing is my wall goes all the way down to my unheated area. So to prevent moisture and humidity and whatnot to get up inside my wall, I'm going to put chunks of the same RX board, which is the 1-inch foil back foam insulation. I'm going to tuck it in my joist, my stud spaces here, basically at the floor level, and that gives me a continuous thermal break in the entire sauna. On the other side, I don't have to worry because my bottom plate is there, so it doesn't go down there. But on this back wall, because my studs go all the way down, I'm going to fill those guys. So, like I said, I'm using my foam. It's important to always wear a mask when you're using insulation. That way it doesn't suck as much. Look, I am your father. Rockwool is my insulation of choice, and the reason being is because it can get wet and then dry out, and it's still good as insulation. It's easy to work with once you don't get the knack. Like I use a steak knife to cut it. And I find it not as itchy as regular fiberglass insulation. Most fiberglass insulation, if it gets wet, becomes useless. Especially if you're using it in a sauna where there's a potential for moisture. This can dry out eventually and become just as good as it was before. And that's why I choose Rockwool insulation. Figured give you guys a little bit of an update on the ducks. They seem to be thriving. Hello, ducks. Can you hear them? He or she's got a hat on. They've got the definitive gray head. Looks like a hat or a whole hood. Their little house seems to be very, very accommodating. It seems to be very warm. The only problem I'm currently having is the water situation. So yeah, I just bring out some warm water every day and can you guys keep it down over there? Well, we've got our ceiling supports on now. This gives us something to nail our ceiling to once we get to that point. So now what we're going to do is we're going to infill the spaces in between these with our RX board, which is our foil-backed foam insulation. And then we're going to put a layer over the entire thing. And then when we put our ceiling on, we nail through the insulation into our furring strips. But as you can see, we've got them all the way around, and they're about 32 inches apart. I think that's adequate in order to secure our ceiling. Can you feel the warmth yet? We've got our second layer of RX board on, so we put the base layer in between our furring channels, and then we put our second layer on, which is so we got about 2 inches of styrofoam, and we've sealed up all our joints. We spray foamed in the crack, and then we're going to tape up the cracks to give us even more ceiling. And then maybe we don't even need a fire in here. You can more just, get a bunch of people in here and just body warmth. A body warmth sauna. Probably a small fire, reasonably sized fire in here, because you won't need much. It's nice and soft, eh?
Oh yeah, you don't have to worry about the bumps.
Yeah. We were down at -9 last night or something like that, and this water's sitting in the sauna, and it's not frozen until you bang it. Look at, as soon as you bang it, it freezes. We're just trimming off the chunks of foam that are a little bit proud on the RX board. And then we're going to put vapor barrier on the back wall. Vapor barrier is pretty much regionally specific. Sometimes in warmer climates, you put the vapor barrier on the outside. I think you always put the vapor barrier on the warm side of the wall. And in this case, in the sauna, inside, in theory, should be the warmest. So we're going to put it on the inside here. But if you're in Florida, I think the vapor barrier goes on the outside. Again, regionally specific. We probably want to keep our warm, moist air inside our building as opposed to inside our wall cavity. Okay, we're finally at the stage where we start putting our wall cladding on. So we've got this is a 1/2 inch by 7 and a bit. That gives us our radius around our cylinder. So Don's just cutting them to length. They're about 101 and a 1/2 inch long. And the idea is we're going to brad nail those guys in place. And then once we've got our end walls up, we are going to put some battens on them covering that little gap, and it gives us a little, allows us to have a little bit of expansion and contraction when we heat up and cool down. Don, the $1 million question. We never counted how many pulls we used. What was your guess? What was your guess? The original guess.
I believe the original guess was 72 or something.
Oh, it wasn't 69, was it?
May have been.
Might have been. Was it close to 70 or 68 or no? Anyways, so we counted them. There is officially, the official count is 76 dead, standing cedar poles. Again, there was nothing alive that we cut down to put around the thing. These are all dead standing forest fire material, and we repurposed them to give the exterior cladding of the sauna. So there you go. 76 poles. That's a lot of poles. We're gonna just gas up. We're gassing up the old chainsaw because we're gonna take get rid of a tree that's in the way, because we gotta get down the path in order to get to the creek, in order to get water, in order to flood our hockey rink at some point. Hi, I'm a picaroon. It wouldn't be an episode unless I talked about firewood tools. This is the big picaroon. What I was thinking of is this thing's great for like hauling big logs and whacking big things. But when you want something a little smaller, I got this guy. I glued a little eyeball on it. This is a tiny little picaroon, and it's designed for grabbing stuff, like little stuff. It's very light. I picked this guy up from Princess Auto. It was actually really easy. I store's closed right now, but you can order online. So you go on the website, you type it in, and you can you get it shipped directly to your door. I think they're doing free shipping right now, anything over $50. But yeah, that's a picaroon. It's the little version of the hookaroon, and I think it's a cool tool. We gotta cut stuff first. All right, guys, we got our path clear. Well, enough that we can get down our path. So let's go take a look at what I'm trying to get to, which is there's a creek back here that pretty much runs all year round. I want to be able to get water out of it for the skating rink to keep it nice and flat. Hopefully it's not frozen. Maybe get there and be like, oh, it's frozen. Oh, there's the edge. That's why you're not supposed to play beside creeks in winter. Oh, I think I'm on. Look at that. It's actually, water's nice and cold. So there's our creek. As you can see, it's running. It's middle of January. Needed to make sure we can have access to it. Well, guys, I just got word that my brother Chris has got an emergency in the back 40, and he wants me to come check a look, give him a hand. I'm not sure exactly what it is, so let's go out there. And for some reason, he wants me to bring a bolt cutter and an axe. I don't know. I guess we need bolt cutters in the forest, something serious. All right, let's. I think he's already out there, so I'm gonna meet him out there.
It's not good.
Oh,
it's like that's why I told you to get the bolt cutters. They bolted it onto the tree. It's not my tree stand. They got tree steps all the way up. I gotta carry these.
yeah, that's right. It's your project. You're carrying them.
All right, follow me. See that there?
That's Sasquatch?
I think that's a turkey wing. The turkey wing. So it probably walked here, and then when it went to take off, it went like that. So it hit just this wing, busted off that way.
Or maybe a Sasquatch. What you doing there?
Well, I'm going to check my camera. It's not cold enough for the raccoons to hibernate.
That's where it landed or took off or something. A turkey track?
Landed.
Landed?
Yeah, went like this. And then I walked that way. Hey? Like this, wings together, and I went that way.
That was a pretty good reenactment.
Yeah? Yeah, feet there, wings there. You can tell a lot just by looking at the snow prints.
Where's this emergency? Ah, jeez, can't help but look at firewood. Hey, look at this one. That's an elm tree. It's dead. This is a beautiful elm tree for firewood. That tree's dead. There's no
emergency?
No, that thing's not gonna be any more dying. That's yeah, I don't know about that yet. You gonna climb that thing?
Well, there's steps here.
Oh yeah?
The steps are all grown in, and they chained it off, so I don't know. Thought we could get it down before it does more damage, but I don't know. How do you get up there?
You gonna climb that thing?
I don't know how anybody climbed this.
Giant feet?
Like there's no steps on, there's steps on the far side here.
Huh.
Oh shoot. We could get my ladder from the stand and throw it up there. You think we can get that chain off of it? What do you think?
Maybe. This is where it kicks out and flips over. What am I doing?
Getting the stand down.
Ah.
Saving the tree.
Oh, I'm saving. The tree's dead.
Saving it. Saving the stand, man.
Well, we just cut the tree down. Who built this ladder? The thing's like grown in the tree. Give me the axe. Ready?
Yeah. There you go. Hey, got it.
Oh, it's just that easy.
Just that easy. There you go.
Chris is on his way up the tree, recover the steps. It's high, isn't it? You don't say.
Ready?
Yeah.
There's one.
Part of the ground now. There it is.
Job done. Saved a tree. Four tree steps in there, $5 a piece. Slightly used tree stand. So we're gonna say this is valued at $75. That's value all day long, Brando.
We got some scrap metal we can bring to the scrap metal place, maybe get $1.50, $2 maybe. Well, he looks happy. That's the main thing.
I saved your tree.
Save.
It's a partnership.
What are we doing with this ladder? We gotta get this ladder all the way back too now?
Put it back.
All right, well, every once in a while I find something that I think, geez, could I take this and make it into something useful? And I think, yeah, I probably can. So then I grab it and I hang on to it. So the other day I was driving along and I found what looks like it to be an old boiler, probably like a natural gas or even an oil boiler. And I'm thinking it might be useful for the sauna. So I think what I can do is actually if I forego the fact that this thing used to heat up hot water, if I actually slice down the sides and fold them up, it'll give me a nice little tray that I can add rocks to. That's my thought anyways. So there it is there. So there's your firebox. You just need to put a door. And so my thought is if I cut it down the center and actually fold it up and kind of weld along the side here, I'll be able to have an area for rocks. You can see there's the vent. So the other option about the actual heater in the sauna is just a conventional wood stove, and then make sort of a stainless steel pan on top of it in order to actually put rocks on it, and then I could throw water in. I was doing some my comment research. It was a gentleman from Finland, I believe. Finland? The home of the sauna? And he was mentioning about bedrock, using bedrock as the rocks, because I guess they're the hard rocks and they don't explode. In light of, you know, giving you guys an update every week and kind of more of a vlog blog. So this is the sort of video that I'm going to put out for this one in particular, to keep you guys informed. It's hard working in the snow. It's hard working in when it's cold. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this one.